Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming through, doing all those shares and whatnot. Definitely appreciate it. All right. So we've wrapped up a couple of commissions that need to be done. Now we get back to our fun stuff. Let me grab my computer and then my other stuff. How you doing, Groove? Or I should say Groovy. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for passing through. Appreciate it. All right, so we did a couple commissions over the last few casts where we were knocking out some covers, which was really fun. The covers came out exceptionally well. They were in this style. And now I got to get back to the project, which is the Road to 1,000 sketch cards. So I'm going to start knocking that down this morning. Let's see. Okay. So this is where we're at. At the beginning of January, my goal was to have my next set started, but unfortunately, because life is what it is, it happens. What's up, Slay Studio? So these are the characters I got left to do. I have to do Echo. I have Fing Fang Foom, Gamora, Gwenpool. Then I'm going to do Spider Gwen, which I think I already did Spider Gwen. I did her earlier. So I got to take her off my list. I actually did that piece. So I got to take that off. Havoc I have to do. And wow, I did a lot of these and I didn't even realize I didn't take them off my list. So this is why it's good to go back and check your stuff. So Slay, I don't know if you've had a chance to take a look and see some of my previous casts, but I'm working on a 1,000 card sketch series. So this is done, and I gotta put all these in here. And Gwen Stacy's done. So that actually leaves me a lot less than I thought I had to do. And I gotta put that one card in here so that way I know. I do have one other commission. It's not a commission, it was actually a giveaway, so I gotta get that done, but I'm gonna start that next week. Start that next Monday. Where's Gwenpool? So she's number 59. So we got Deadpool up here. Let's see. So Hawkeye. And then Havoc. And then her. Okay, so this is going to be right here. Trying to make sure I keep an eye on all of this stuff so that way I don't end up messing up anything. All right, so character-wise, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that means I have 91 done for the Marvel series. So I'm going to go ahead. I had Storm. I don't know where I put her. That's weird. I started her. I just don't know where she went. Probably put her in a different section. This is what it is. What's going on, Elizabeth? Painting with color. What's going on, Gabe? How are you doing? Always good to see you up here. Yeah, this morning I'm trying to get all these. So these are my roughies that I have here. So I'm gonna take a gander at those. I got to find my Storm. I did start her. I just got to find it, but we'll get back to that one. But I'm just gonna move on and I'm gonna knock out the Thing real fast and go from there. Well, perfect. Yeah, yesterday was kind of a crazy day. It was busy. But I mean, I was able to get that cover finished up. I was happy about that. Kind of made my life a little bit easier. Oh, Jose, I got to give it up to you, man. I did not know how good you really were. You definitely undersell your work, like as far as like how good it really is. What's up, Jungle Jim? Yeah, that piece last night, I was in awe. I felt like I was looking at a cartoon. It was beautiful. I didn't get a chance to see if you finished it or not because I fell asleep before then. Oops. Come on, you. And done. And let's go here. Yeah, this week is like full on promotion mode for myself and my wife. So we're gonna got a lot of work to do. So for my wife, we're doing a she's a therapist and we're creating a couples retreat. So we're really pushing for that to get done this week. So it starts tomorrow. And I got work to do tonight. So I'm going to a festival, doing some other things, and then going to a movie premiere for one of my students, and then I'm going to have to come home and start getting to work on some stuff. So it's like a busy, busy, busy weekend. Oh, they seemed interested, but they didn't buy it. Oh, okay. Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, if somebody's interested in it, they should just go ahead and get that. They should cop that because that piece is going to be really good when it's done. I can say that just from the way that you did just the basics on it, like doing just the pencils on it. It was good. What's out of 25? Yeah, I think it's called Dorge. I think that's the comic. I meant to get a copy of it while I was Diorc. Okay, I meant to get a copy while I was at my comic book shop this past weekend, but I forgot. I was so interested in getting some other comics that I really wanted, like the Fantastic Four, and there's something else. Oh, and Ghost Pepper. I forgot all about it. But I definitely want to get it. It literally looks like a cartoon. Yeah, I gotta see if my shop has any of them because I know that comic is going to do really well. I just feel it. It's gonna be a banger. I don't know what. I figured as much they would. I figured that would probably happen. In fact, you know what? Let me see it. I'm gonna reach out to mine and see if they have it really fast. And if they do, I'm gonna have them order them for me. My shop is really good at making sure that they're able to find things that most people can't find. Let me see if they're gonna. They tend to catch up real quick on this. So they open at 11, so I should be able to get an answer. Okay. Well, They're like the one thing I know is like with this particular shop, like they're connected to multiple shops. Um, the guy actually owns two comic shops, one in South Florida and then one in Northern Florida. So I might get lucky. So I'm hoping that that's going to happen. Well, I mean, that comic just, I haven't read a lot about it, but like I was telling somebody yesterday, when it comes to comics, I don't I don't get comics for comic to read them. I get them for the art. Well, I guess that's a good thing. I have no hate on that. I'm so glad that's happening. They really need to have something like that happen in the comic industry. Create a good story and people just bite. Where is my thing? There it is. Have a specific look to thing that I do, and I just want to make sure it looks like it on this piece. So this is the thing that I did on my comic cover, still sitting up there in the inventory. So I'm going to try to emulate that for this card, but from a different angle. I'm looking forward to it. What is who's the artist that's on that book? I feel like it's like Brett something for some reason. I think it's like Brett. I think I've noodled around enough. I think I got everything I need. Yeah, so next week's stuff, I'm gonna put a pin in this. So wherever I'm at with the Marvel stuff, as of this weekend, is where I have to stop because I'm gonna start working on my Pokemon cards for my show next week. What's up, Spider? Brett Bean. Okay, I knew who that was. So I remember I got a book that he did. It was like a bear that had superpowers. It was all in black and white except for the cape of the bear was all in red. And I bought that one on a whim because again, he's got a very cartoon style of artwork, which harkens back to like when I was a kid. So that's one of the reasons why I bought the book. It was one of those obscure things that this comic shop that I went to, um, because he doesn't really, I shouldn't say he doesn't sell stuff, but he doesn't have like a huge influx of people coming in and out. He he was able to have things that most people wouldn't have. So like he gave me a J. Scott Campbell calendar that he never sold. I mean, a $30 uh, calendar that he got, and he knew that I really wanted it. He's like, "Yeah, you can have it." So he gave me that, and then I bought those books, and that's how I was able to get that. And then I also got another artist he did, Flash Gordon, and it was similar to that. It was very much like Dragon Slayer. Gotta get that. I'm in that. But going back to you, Jose, I am looking forward to the day I get to see you do your own book because you have a style that I love. It's super clean. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. The books that you sent me don't do justice to what you could actually pull off. It's just your work is just one of those things. I almost like I look at people like yourself and I'm like, man, you guys are so good. I got to play catch up. So you kind of push me to up my game. Even Gabe's work, it's conceptually, it's really cool. I don't know if you guys got a chance to. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do the same for you as well. When I get my book pushed, like next year, I'm actually going to start working on that book. This year, I'll probably start working on all the thumbnails and everything, and then that way I can just run right through the book. Um, and then I'll make sure that you get a copy before it comes out. Oh, let me take a look. Let's see here. I don't want to end my cast. I just want to. Phone's acting stupid. All right, let's see here. There it is. For some reason, it didn't come through. I'll just have to wait to see it come up. Hang on one second, guys. I got a person that was asking me about Venom real quick, and I want to make sure that he gets an idea of what I can do. So sorry. Hate to be that guy. This message request came through and I didn't even see it. It's weird. Where is that piece? You realize like you do stuff and you don't realize how long ago you did it. It's kind of crazy. Those were last summer, so this had to be the summer prior. Let me send him the illustration one. Had to been the summer prior. That was last summer. That's very frustrating. Let me do it this way because I know I have it on here. Give me a second. All right, I'll take a look and see where that's at because I didn't see that Venom pop up. All right, so that one's done. And all right, so that goes that one. Cool. All right. I don't know why certain people's stuff is not adding. There it goes. Okay, cool. So that's a good Venom. Again, you're really good at the concept game. Like the concepts are really cool. You do this like forced perspective, and the angles are really cool. What? Let me find out what this is. Yeah, these clowns are dope. All right, so this, yeah. See, that's cool. The inks are really good, really really good. I I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish I had seen that. I wish you had kept this in your pencils. I love your pencil work. It's really really cool. Your pencils are so clean. 35 is not bad for that spawn or for that venom that you did. It's actually very, it's a pretty competitive price. Oh, I meant to tell you guys, I'm only going to be on here for an hour today. Unfortunately, I have to cut it short only because I have today is the gallery stuff that I have to do. So I get to go to the gallery. I get to work with the owner or owners and kind of figure out what their process is, get my key, and then get my measurements today too. So that way I can start grabbing all of my art, which I'll pick up on Monday. And I got to do my artist statement, picture, all that kind of good stuff so that everything is ready to go. So Monday is my official move in day. Today is just getting all the paperwork stuff out of the way. So I'm actually really happy. So my wife's gonna go over my writing, make sure that I have a good artist statement. It's very clean, legible, that kind of stuff. And then I get to do all the visual stuff. So I will make sure I have a nice picture, which I already have. Just got to make the card, get it printed out on some cardstock, be ready to rock. Thank you. What's up, Black Knight? Yeah, it's going to be a fun little event to get everything going. And then I think what I'll do is I'm going to probably promote it by doing some kind of like show. And it'll work out in the fact that it'll get people into the actual gallery that never would really go in there. So they'll see my work and they'll also be able to see other people's work. So I'm going to promote that. Oh, you are, huh? Yeah, I'm doing that string art piece. So today I have to, or not today, over the next week, I have to make some wood that's like glassy smooth. So I got to break out the sander before I start placing my nails, and that's going to be a pain in the ass. This one's a 005. This will usually be my smallest one that I use, Gabe. So Black Knight, since you do a lot of woodwork, can I ask you a question? Maybe as a helper for this project I'm about to do. All right. I have pieces of wood that I purchased from like Lowe's, and they're those circular pieces of wood. Now you know that they have like the grooves and everything in there and the knots on them. I need to find out the best way to smooth that out and fill in those knots so that way when I put the paint on, it's just like glass. Do I just need to get a wood filler and then sand that down so everything is like uniform? Using epoxy. Okay. And then just do what, multiple layers of that epoxy? Oh, perfect. Thank you. That's very helpful. What's going on, Peel Man? Hey, you have yourself a good one. Have fun with the wife. I hope she enjoys her Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoy yours, buddy. Oh, did you? Well, see, we all learned something here. Yeah, I honestly, I've learned so much. I feel like I can teach now even better. It's kind of cool. The other night, who was it? Kay was online, and she was trying to draw this. Who is it? The land chart guy, and she just couldn't figure out how to do certain things. Right. So her work, she wanted to kind of emulate the old Jaws cover, which I think was a really cool treatment. But she couldn't figure out how to stop it from being like flat and giving it the life that she likes. She's a very talented artist in terms of like drawing like scenery and stuff like that. And her painting is very energetic, as we all know. Um, but this one, she even said, she's like, I can't draw people for life of me. And I was like, okay, well, this is one of the areas where I'm a little more proficient at. So why don't I help out? So I grabbed a picture, a screenshot of the work that she was doing, and I sent it over to her just to kind of help her see like the angles. And once she saw that, she was able to kind of like really give her work some movement. So instead of coming up directly like the Jaws piece was, she had him come in on an angle. That way she could show more of the fun, friendly part of the character. And what she did is she accentuated everything with her colors, and that piece looks really good so far. She's got the first half of it, which is the shark part done, and now she just has to do Squirrel Girl. And once she does that, everything's going to fall into place. And I mean, she did a phenomenal job with it the other night. Okay, I will definitely check that out because I'm going to probably do two big ones. Both of the pieces I'm doing are 24-inch round. Um, what is it? It's pine that I'm tinkering with. And then I'm going to end up buying a router. And I'm going to start getting some bigger pieces because I want to start pushing it to 36 inches for those. But we've already gotten a couple of design set up for this, and I think we'll be good to go. What's going on, Cash? Yeah, I mean, if I can go bigger, number one, it'll stand out against everybody else's stuff. Like my work doesn't look like anybody else's stuff. We have photography in there, we have metal work, we have glass, um, some illustrations, some paintings, some fine art, but nobody's doing what I'm doing. And I'm glad because then I don't have to compete against anybody. If I was doing illustration and digital art, then I would. And I don't really want to do that. I would really like to have something that stands out against the crowd, and this will. I mean, there's pieces when people come into my other work and they see it, they're like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! How long does that take?" You know, and they don't realize that we're talking like hours. Sometimes, like one piece I have took like 36 hours to create. What's up, M Dog? Josa, welcome. Yeah, this is going to be a. I mean, whenever you get an opportunity to do something like this, it's big. You know, and I tell people, I mean, it's not official until the paperwork is signed, and she sent me over the contract, so that's I got that, and I'll give that to her today. But I didn't want to finalize everything until I got to see her face to face because we did kind of like a handshake deal. But the main thing is in order for the deal to be sealed up, I have to make sure that the space that I asked for is mine. That's the biggest part. Because if that's not correct, then we have a problem. Okay, so I'm trying to get this border in place. I'll spend more time on comic painting or teaching you how to do it. Oh, speaking of which, I need to reach out to somebody today. No, I didn't forget about the Zoom stuff. I just thought when we were doing the Zoom, you're going to teach me more how to do watercolor. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Yep. Let me see something really quickly here. Okay, so that's the epoxy kit. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. Looks like that's something I'm gonna have to go get. Thank you very much for that suggestion. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm excited to get going. I just don't want to wait. But I know, doing any epoxy, I gotta wait some time. I got some very busy weekends, but I'm very happy to have it happen. So like this weekend we have everybody's got 4th of July, which is cool. Next weekend is going to be the card show, which is going to be dope. It's going to be the first time I actually present my own Pokemon cards. Like, these are super custom. And then, oops, let me turn this around. And then the following weekend is the end of the month, and I have a Black History Month thing that I'm doing. So I got to have 2 paintings that I'm doing for that show. I think one's called The Healing Touch, and I can't remember what the other one is that I have, but I've done both. But they're both angels. They're very spiritually led. So I got to get those done ASAP. Fourth of July for what? And no, I have not gotten any coffee this morning. Well, hey, how you doing, Step? Good to see you. Happy Friday. Oh, I didn't mean 4th of July. I meant the end of February. So end of February, I got Black History Month event I'm going to be at. It's specific to Black artists. So the city really wants to kind of push this whole thing, just like we do like a Spanish Heritage Month. And they're just trying to get that art out there for people to enjoy, which I think is really cool. That one was a 0-1. Yep, definitely a 0-1 on that one. All right, time to go ahead and get the color on this bad boy. All right, here's how the colors are going to go. We're going to put in our grays first, warm grays and cool grays. So cool grays will go with the blue, and then the warm grays will go with the orange of his suit. And then we'll go over it with the correct color. So that's how that'll work. Where is that color? Okay, so this is the primary blue that I use for this. So this guy, it's an artist loft. I'm not a big fan of these because you can't really get refills for them. But that's here nor there. I just use it for what I'm going to use it for. My primary is going to be Copic. I have a cool number 3 and a cool number 5 that I'm going to work with. So it'll be these two right here. Cool 3 and 5. And then I'm going to use, and then I'm going to use a warm 3 and 5. So you almost have like a brown tone. So those two right there. All right. So these are for these guys right here are for the skin, and then the others 2 are going to be for the suit. Okay. I'm going to go with the light source coming from. Oops, why did that turn? Lock that into place. But I usually like having the light source coming from the right. So that's what I'm going to do. So I have my shadows on the left. Oh, whoops. I put that in the wrong spot. Put that here. Okay, and then this is going to be white, or this is going to be the white part. So we're actually going to push it all the way to underneath his arm as well. Light's still hitting that part, so we want to make sure that we don't put any of this color in there. Yeah, I can absolutely push it closer to the camera. You got it. There you go. All right. And then we got his belt. So I'm working the Copic like it's a brush. So I hold my Copic marker back. I'm not trying to get like super close. I just want to kind of work with the brush. And when you do that, it actually creates this like streak across the work that you're doing. So it can go from that darker to lighter. So you can see how this is much darker, but if I hold it back, I'm able to create this much lighter tone with the same exact marker. And that's all that control. So if you have, since for you, Gabe, you have really good control in watercolor, it's the same exact concept. So then I'll come in with the 5, and this will go where my darkest shadow. So it would be definitely underneath his arm, like right here. Definitely over here and right here, because the shadow's not going to, I mean, the light's not going to hit here. Now, depending on the artist, you might have these hard movements of color, like the hard transitions. I don't particularly like that for my work. So I'm going to change that by going back to my number 3, and I'm going to pull the 5 into the 3. And you can go with kind of like a round, like a circular motion to kind of blend that a little bit better. And it smooths it out. Okay. And you just pull that up like that. Same thing here. We're just going to pull this down. And I'm letting it do kind of like a partial dry between movements. So now I'm going to come in here with this warm number 3. Oh, not that one. I'll grab this guy. The other one had a little bit, it was a little dry. Now the warm one is going to go for his hands and whatnot. So what'll end up happening as soon as I start putting the yellow on top, it'll cause these shadows to really appear. Okay. So we're going to go, because his hand's on top of the other hand, we want to have that shadow casting from the other hand. See, all this stuff that we learned in grade school comes together really well once you understand shapes and um, when you're creating stuff like this. I would love for it to be an X-Men 97. All right, so this is all ready to rock. So now it's time to make the magic happen. And again, we're just going to put a yellow on top of this. So I have this yellow here that I have to kind of let bleed out a little bit, because if I don't, it's going to bleed all over my piece, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going specifically to his face. I don't want to hit his teeth. See, like I knew that was going to happen. So I'm ever so slightly putting in, and I got to get a new one of these because this nib is just done. So it's putting out way too much ink. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing with his hands. And then what we do is we let this dry. See, now you can see the shadows popping out underneath the yellow. We're going to let this dry, and then what ends up happening is we're going to take a colored pencil and we're going to go over it. The colored pencil is going to give us the highlights that we really need. There we go. No, unfortunately, with that particular marker, it's on the nib. So right here, and I already know what the problem is, and I can't fix this problem. So let me see. So right here, there's a gap right here in this part of the nib, and it's just pouring out. And it's just there's no grip between the nib and I'm sorry, there's very little nib grip between the nib and the actual holder for the nib. So I'm just gonna get a new one. I've had that pin for like 5, 6 years now, so it's done its justice and it's good. It's okay for me to go ahead and put that one down and get a new one. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. So because this is the suit, I gotta add some shadows here so that the blue will show through, or the shadow for the blue will be there. Definitely almost forgot to do that. That would have been bad. Yeah, but I don't have a problem letting go of things. If I've had a nice good run with it, I'm good. So this artist loft one, I'm not really mad about it. It's done its job. I'm going to end up getting a replacement blue. I've just been really lazy on going and placing my order, but I got to place an order today for all my stuff. So it'll be here for next week. I have a couple of big things I want to do. I'm going to post to probably next week what the big project is, because I started a commission for one of my clients from last year. So he came and bought a piece from me on Free Comic Book Day. I did it, but I don't like it. And as I mentioned on my stream, I'm not a person that's just going to give you half-ass work. I really want to give you something that you can be happy about. So instead of giving this guy a single cover, I'm giving him 2 covers. He's getting this Transformer piece. It basically is Blaster versus Soundwave. And I felt I could do it better justice if I had both pieces in there. I look at it this way. I mean, the guy's waited a very long time, so he might as well get something really good. And it's no fault of his. I lost his information, so I didn't know how to contact him. And I couldn't describe him to the comic book shop owner because I couldn't remember completely what he looked like. We had a very brief interaction. Yeah, I told him. I told the guy, I was like, I want to do this piece. I really want to do this mashup because I had a concept for it. But when I did the concept for it, it just didn't work. And I know the reason it didn't work is because it was done on one of my first lives that I ever did. And I was nervous. I was rushing. And it was a large piece to do. And that I think was the reason why that piece just wasn't the best. So I'm going to reach out to him. I'm going to let him know what's going on, so that way he can know that he's still going to get a product. He's not getting shafted out of his money, but he's going to get something really cool. And the cool thing is, when I drop it off at the shop owner's place, he's going to be like, "Wow, that's cool." Yeah, I mean, you have to know when you're doing something and it just doesn't work, and it's okay to scrap it and start fresh. I don't know if I ever showed you my Incredible Hulk that I just did recently for a sketch card, but that's one of those scenarios where I had to start from scratch. It's like I'm not doing this. Okay, so actually I'll show it to you. All right, let me pull it out here real fast because I literally have it right here. I found the card because I like to show people the difference. Okay, so when I was doing my sketch cards, I started out with an Incredible Hulk. And again, this is before I went ahead and started doing concepts. So this was the Incredible Hulk I started out with. I thought it was okay, but the forced perspective for the fist just it didn't work. So I was just like, I'm not going to go with that. So I ended up changing it, and now I have a much more aggressive version of Hulk that I like. So you can see the before and after. And I got to fix my camera on here because it's blowing out some of my greens. But that's the difference between going with an original concept and being like, okay, I'm going to trash that and I'm going to go with something better. You just have to know. Yeah, it's way different, and you have to just be okay with changing those things up. Like I said, I'm not going to give somebody half-ass work. It just will not go that way. I can't do it. I've learned my lessons. Okay, so let's get. There we go. Cool. No, I mean I think the off-centeredness for him was actually a better move. Not having everything centered is actually a good thing. You do a lot of stuff with asymmetry, and that's good. So I would just keep that where it's at. I would not beat yourself up about that. You did a really good job on it. All right, so that was the thing, and the thing is after Storm. So we got Spider-Man, we got Storm, we have Thanos, and then Thing. Okay, so Thing goes right there. All right, so the last couple are going to be I got to do Venom, Professor X. So I can do Venom now because I can do him really fast. I'm going to record this one, so I have to get this done in like a few minutes because I got to get going here. At least I can get the concept all set up. I didn't time lapse any of that thing. That sucks. That's okay. No problem. So let me get this guy off of here because I don't need this anymore. And we're going to time lapse this Venom. Okay, perfect. Yeah. I mean, if you whatever I can do to help, that works. And I can always send you, those things. Do you still want me to send you those mock-ups so that way you can play with those? Okay. Yeah, I'll do me a favor, email me and let me and send that to me and I'll send you over those mock-ups. Or message me with your email and then that way I can pull that up. Oh, you don't have email? Okay. I'll take some screenshots of it and then you can just print them out. Oh, you don't no. Just send me your email. Send me your email and I'll send them via email to you. Definitely one of my favorite characters to draw. That went really fast. No. I don't prefer. I like drawing Spawn. Um, Probably more because I love the chains and the cape. But I definitely love drawing Venom because I love these teeth. He just looks like he's going to do bad things. Like I enjoy Venom more than I enjoy like Carnage. Carnage has got a lot of movement to him because of his symbiotic suit. It's more like organic. But Venom's the OG. Perfect. I just saw it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get that out to you. Um, I have them all digitized, so I can just send them all over to you. And like I said, just print them out, and you can. What you'll do is that you'll take the sheet, right? Move this back a little bit. So, like for example, you did the Spider-Man here. You'll just draw into the silhouette, and then you'll add whatever bits that you want to it. So when you get the final rendering like this is the final rendering for the Spider-Man. So you can see I moved my hand, like I just had this as a general design. So this arm right here, what used to be back here, but because I turned his body so I could see more of the emblem, I wanted to showcase that arm with like it up in the air. And I even changed the foot a little bit. I moved the positioning of this leg so that way it was more down, it was more natural. So just those little things. Okay. So let me get all these pencils on Venom, and then I'll have to get out of here because like I said, I gotta go to this gallery thing and take care of that business. Perfect. Yeah, I'll send you all the ones that I have for this series. And then if you want, as I get them done, I can send you over the ones for like the other series. That I don't have a problem doing. And again, they're just roughies, so it's not like you're taking anything. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's all good. Yeah, if it can streamline your process a little bit more and you're able to accentuate it, I'm good with that. Because I mean, the other day, I can tell you this for sure. Like the other day, I saw this other artist that I follow. Really love his work, and usually his ideas he does on his own. But this one particular piece, only because I've seen it so many times, this particular pose that he did, um, I knew where it came from because the direction and everything and the way the shoulders were angled and everything. I knew what he got it from, and there's no problem with that. Just as long as it's your design. I think that's the best part of it. You're not stealing somebody else's, facial features and all that kind of good stuff. I think that's when you push the line a lot. I'm not sure what that famous quote is. You'll have to enlighten me. All right, so he is good to go. Yeah, I mean, I see it from time to time, but as long as you're not directly trying to copy like all of the stuff, the pose is fine. I don't have a problem with the pose. It's like when people take your exact, concept. Like I said, with my spawn piece, that shit was not that was clipped, and I know it. Like that was literally my spawn, and they just tweaked it. Yeah, that's true. And I can't be mad at Brett Booth because I don't know who's the one that made that call, but I know that that was clipped from my work. I know it. I can definitely tell you that nobody else had that design, that had that positioning, had that version of Spawn. Nobody, and that was a steal. But I'm going to take it as a win because you know what? If I hadn't submitted it, he probably wouldn't have that dope cover. I almost want to reach out to Brett Booth and be like, "Hey, good question. Um, this idea, this concept, where did you get it from?" Yeah, I think if anything, I could just have that conversation. Not that I want to be a dick about it, because I definitely don't want to do that. I really admire the work that he does, and this is just one of those times, as an artist, you can kind of you know that something wrong was done. But I'm not mad to the point where I'm just like losing my stuff. I'm not like that. All right, I'm just gonna get this last little bit on his tongue, and then I have to get on the roll. All right, guys. I am sorry I got to cut this off early, but I hope you guys have a great day. Oh, real quick, Reg, I just sent you a message about the Venom. And it's funny that you actually sent that because I'm working on Venom right now. All right, so this is what I need you to do. I need you to go ahead and will I have a bunch of different sketch covers. Give me a sec. Let me pull them out and let's go over those real fast. Give me just a minute and let me pull them so I can show you what I got. All right. All right, Reg. Sorry, guys. I just want to do this before I left because Reg just jumped in here and I wanted to make sure he knew what was going on. Yes, I do have some blanks, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got, and you can tell me which one you want to use. All right. Okay, so I have a Spawn blank for another customer. King Spawn, Fantastic Four, Old Man Logan. We have a Battle Beast, GoBots, Berserk. We have Old Man Logan and Deadpool, Deadpool Wolverine. We have the New Mutants. We can put it on a Daredevil one. We could do a Mega Man Venom. We got a Shirley, the Curse of Shirley Johnson, and then I have a Deadpool Secret War. So those are the covers that I have available, and I can put it on any one of those covers. So you tell me. I mean, I think like that would probably be a good one to do. This one's actually a really popular one because that one you actually get. This is 98 of New Mutants, so you can get that. So you let me know which one you would like to do. I can do it on any of those covers. But as you can see in that message that I sent you, I can slay a Venom, no problem. I can give you an address to send it to, and I can do it on that blank if you want me to. Let me ask you a real quick question. Is the Venom blank that you have, is it black? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I can definitely do that. So we can definitely do that. I can send you an address to send it to, and then I'll go ahead and throw down on that. Yeah, well, the covers are not really very good for that. You really have to do acrylic paints on it. I don't like them. They don't really like a lot of the colors and whatnot, so I'm not a big fan of that. Okay, I will. I'll DM you and we'll we'll hammer out the logistics on it and we'll make that work. No, no apologies needed. All right. Well, we'll do that, and I'll do that with you today and get that stuff going. Yeah, the Venom sketch card is definitely available for sure. So if you go under the custom sketch cards, there should be a picture of somebody on there, but it's a custom sketch card. That's how you would get that. Yeah, all the cards come in color unless you ask me not to put it in color. So like this one will have like the little green slime coming off of it, very much like the video game. Oh, I'm gonna finish it off. I mean, I'll do it off camera, but yeah, and I'll post it. But yeah, if you definitely want this Venom, you let me know, and I got you. You're too kind. Yeah, I have a Venom and I have a Carnage that I did. Thank you. Yeah, I do like my Venoms and stuff like that. I love to do those. They're a lot of fun. Um, just so you can kind of see what's up. This is one that I did for somebody's car. They never actually ended up wanting it. They asked me to do it, but they never like locked in. And this is early on in my sales career. But let me see if I can find it here for you so I can show it to you. It's earlier in November I did this. I had this guy. Where is it? Thought I had it in here, but I don't. Basically, it was a Venom and Spider-Man piece. Yeah, I can kill Spawn. Spawn's another one I can really do. I just did a Spawn last week. In fact, if you look in your DMs, there's a Spawn Venom that I sent you. And I think I sent you the Megatron um, spawn as well, or Megatron Venom. So you get all the you got an example of all the goodies. Oh, okay. Well, let me see if I can. So this is the one of the. Where are you? It's in here. It's not in there. What says it? No, he's not in there. It's in this one. It's the. I know he's definitely on Instagram. There he is. So he's right there. Now, that's the digital version of him, but this was on a Transformers cover. It did all that. So there he is. That's a better version of him. But yeah, let me know if you want this one. If you want it, I'll pull it aside as soon as I'm done with it, and I'll get this to you when I send out your Venom book, or I can send this out beforehand. Yeah, this will be one of the original set pieces. So this is one of my 1,000 cards that I'm working on for my set. So you would get one of those. All right, so he's ready to rock and roll. Like I just got to put in the black inks later on today and put in some highlights, and he's done. But that's how quickly you can knock out a Venom. I'll probably put red in the background and really make that pop off. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so what I'll do is again, I'll email you, or I'm sorry, I'll DM you details, and then we will get this all hammered out. Yeah, it's all number one and 005. 005 on like the eyes and the smaller details. And just a pro tip, just so you know, the reason why I'm using this card versus a ruler is because the ruler tends to, like, if you use a wood ruler, it's fine, but if you use like a metal ruler, the ink tends to stay on the side of the ruler and it will transfer onto your work. So don't do that. Same with plastic. So the reason the wood works and this works is because the ink will go against the card and it will absorb into the card. That's why wood works really good. So just a little tip. All right, so that way we square him off. He looks really good. Favorite characters. My favorite of all time is Shatterstar. Just so you know, I just love the swords, and I like Shatterstar from like the '90s comics. So like New Mutants and X Force. Yep. All right, guys. I gotta hustle, and yep, I gotta go ahead and get stuff done. So thank you so much for being here, guys. I will talk to you on the next stream. Have a good one.